When Max didn't show up in Hocus Pocus 2, fans were left wondering whatever happened to the actor who played him. From making the rounds at conventions to launching his own business, Omri Katz has been keeping himself very busy. If you're wondering why you haven't seen Omri Katz much since Hocus Pocus, it's probably because he retired from acting over 20 years ago. Katz began his acting career at an early age, making his TV debut at age 7 on Dallas, while Katz went on to star in Erie, Indiana from 1991 to 1992, followed by Hocus Pocus a year later. He didn't do much acting after that, aside from a handful of TV appearances. Katz later explained to Bloody Disgusting that he lost interest in acting as he matured. He told the outlet, "I figured I was going to continue in the industry until I got older and changed my mind, and directing was definitely the direction I wanted to go in." He eventually left Hollywood altogether. In an interview with Victims and Villains, Katz explained his reasoning behind giving up acting.
I just didn't really like show business. I like the craft, great. I didn't like the business aspect of it.
Omri Katz may not have done much acting after Hocus Pocus, but he still appears at plenty of conventions for it. It's a gig that he didn't think he'd have when he first shot the movie. As he explained to Victims and Villains, nobody really anticipated 30 years later, and here we are now, doing conventions, and it's more popular than ever.
I think I'm just as surprised as anybody.
He enjoys it, though, because he gets to meet the fans and immerse himself in that world again after being away from it for so long. From the looks of Katz's Instagram, he made appearances at conventions all over the country in 2022. These included 90s Con in Connecticut and an autograph signing at Celebworks in California. It seems Katz is just happy to connect with Hocus Pocus fans and see how different generations are responding to the film. And he'll probably continue going to conventions for the foreseeable future. He told Bloody Disgusting, "It's really a trip. It seems surreal. I'm excited to see what the future has in store." Not only is Omri Katz representing Hocus Pocus at events, but he remains close with his former castmates too. In 2021, he told TMZ that some of them even contact each other around Halloween every year, saying, "In terms of other cast members like Vanessa Shaw and Thora Birch, yeah, we talk, and we get together once in a while. It probably helps that Shaw and Birch have attended many of the same conventions Katz has. In 2019, for example, he posted a photo with a few of his Hocus Pocus co-stars at Freeform's 31 Nights of Halloween. Shaw has also posted photos of her and Katz together at different events, so it's clear they're friends. For instance, in an Instagram photo with Katz and some of the Hocus Pocus cast, she wrote in the caption, "Giggling and smiling so much my cheeks hurt." Despite Katz's important role in the original Hocus Pocus, he wasn't involved in Hocus Pocus 2. That was a shock for fans, who expected his character to at least make a cameo in the new film. Before that movie came out, Katz told Entertainment Weekly in August 2022, "People have been asking, and unfortunately I'm not in it. I feel bad for the original fan base saying we aren't, because I'm sure they wanted to see us reprise our roles." While Katz was bummed about being left out of the sequel, he still watched it. However, he seems to have mixed feelings about Hocus Pocus 2, and even admitted to falling asleep during the film. However, he did tell the outlet, "I saw the fun in it. I think it would have been more fun if we were involved, but it was still very enjoyable." Omri Katz doesn't just spend his time going to Hocus Pocus conventions, he's also a business owner. In 2020, Katz launched the Merry Danksters, an online cannabis apparel store. He announced his new business venture on Instagram, writing, "Lots of people are wondering what I've been up to, being a member of the cannabis community for almost 20 years now, and jumping through hoops of fire to get here." Katz has been into cannabis for a long time, and even admitted on Victims and Villains that he actually started growing marijuana illegally back in 2002. He recalled,
I saw a close friend of mine had a grow room in his garage, and I'm like, okay, I know what I want to do with my life.
And it seems as if Katz is still cultivating marijuana because he showed off his company's huge growing facility on Instagram. However, his plans for selling cannabis along with apparel remain unclear. Katz told Victims and Villains, "I'm really excited to see where this industry takes me. It's been a tough thing to navigate, but I feel confident that I've got something to contribute." In Hocus Pocus, the character Max had a laid-back point of view, and it seems that Omri Katz shared a similar sentiment on set. That's because he admitted to Entertainment Weekly that he was sometimes high on marijuana during filming. Katz recalled to the outlet, "That was at an age where I started experimenting with cannabis. Let's just say some of those scenes I was having a good old time." However, his on-set marijuana use did get him into trouble with the film's director, Kenny Ortega. Katz explained to Entertainment Weekly, "I was misperforming and not hitting my keys or marks. Kenny comes up to me and practically grabs me by the shirt, and he was like, 'Are you high?' And I was like, 'No,' and of course I was." Fortunately, that served as a wake-up call for Katz to get it together. He was there to work, after all. Yet Katz apparently wasn't just a teen who wanted to experiment. He's now made it clear that cannabis actually became a longtime passion for him, seeing as it's now his career. However, he does have a few regrets about not focusing on his acting more while filming Hocus Pocus. That said, Katz did tell Entertainment Weekly that he admired how his co-star Bette Midler took her craft so seriously. If you watched Hocus Pocus, then you know that Allison was Max's dream girl.
Hi.
Hi.
However, in real life, Omri Katz has a different crush. She happens to be his partner, Michelle Waters, whom he has been dating since at least 2020. That's when he made their relationship Instagram official by sharing a series of photos of them snuggling up. Katz wrote in the caption, "Luckiest man on earth, love this woman." Katz has continued posting photos of him and Waters together since then. In April 2022, he shared that they visited the Gardens of the World. Then on Valentine's Day 2023, he proved that they were still going strong by sharing a video montage of their love. He made it known in the caption that he's in it for the long haul too, writing, "You're my person and you're stuck with me." Katz and Waters don't appear to be married, but Waters wrote on her Instagram that she's a mother. And from the looks of her photos, Katz seems to be involved with her kids. She also seems to be just as smitten with Katz as he is with her. It's unclear if Katz had other serious relationships before Waters, though he did date the actress Danielle Harris when they were in their teens. Harris even admitted to Instinct magazine that Katz was her first boyfriend. Omri Katz does have interests outside of cannabis and Hocus Pocus, which he seemed to discover after he quit acting. He explained to Bloody Disgusting, "I grew up in the industry, so that's kind of all I knew. I think I was soul-searching and wanted more of a human experience, just see what else is out there." He did just that by leaving Los Angeles so that he could live in the mountains for a few years. He also took up a few outdoor hobbies like snowboarding and surfing, which he's posted about on his Instagram. He also seems to be drawn to board sports and has posted multiple photos and videos of himself wake surfing. Another of Katz's hobbies is riding his motorcycle, seeing as he's posted a lot of bike pics on his Instagram. However, Katz hasn't posted any new pics of his bikes for several years, so whether he's kept up with it is uncertain. Katz has frequently posted a lot about his two dogs as well, which suggests that he's an animal lover. It's also worth mentioning that in between acting and working with cannabis, Katz worked as a hairdresser for a while. He enjoyed that career while it lasted, proving he'd found happiness in a variety of jobs and hobbies outside of Hollywood. Many Hocus Pocus fans probably want to know if Omri Katz ever returned to Salem, Massachusetts, considering that's where the film takes place. The answer to that is yes. In October 2022, Katz went to Salem for a special event put on by the Horror Squad podcast. During his visit to Salem, Katz took a tour, met with fans, and rewatched the movie that made him famous. It was the first time Katz had returned to Salem since the film's 1992 shoot. Katz took to his Instagram to share the experience, writing in the caption, "Thank you, Salem, for hosting me after 30 years. Couldn't have imagined it any different." In his interview with Bloody Disgusting, Katz admitted that he still felt nostalgic about Salem. He recalled to the outlet, "I definitely remember the seasons. We filmed here in autumn, and it was the same thing with all the colors of the leaves." Katz also noticed how busy Salem was during his visit, perhaps due to the continuing popularity of Hocus Pocus. There are even tours of locations featured in the movie, Katz told Bloody Disgusting. "It seems like the town has grown a lot. The flux of people is insane." Hocus Pocus clearly still means a lot to Omri Katz, even though 3 decades have passed since he starred in it. That's why it's not entirely surprising that he's interested in coming out of retirement to play Max in a potential 3rd Hocus Pocus movie. While he wasn't in Hocus Pocus 2, he suggested to Bloody Disgusting that his return could still work. Katz told the outlet, "It leaves the door open to continue, so if they want to bring us back and do a different story, I'd be grateful." Sean Bailey, the president of motion picture production at Disney, did tell the New York Times in June 2023 that Hocus Pocus 3 is in the works. Bailey also revealed that the actors who played the iconic Sanderson sisters, Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker, have all expressed an interest in returning.
Don't we look good 30 years later?
If you ask Katz, though, they all should start filming it immediately. He told Entertainment Weekly, "The witches are 30 years older, so we've got to get this done sooner than later. We can't wait another 30 years. 30 years would be a long time to wait for another Hocus Pocus movie, seeing as Katz is already unrecognizable compared to his teen character in the original film. However, it did take the film many years to become an integral part of Halloween, and of Katz's adult life too, so anything is possible.